Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be playing another game of Total War Warhammer. I'm the Strategy Professor. Let's see if he's... I don't know if he's going to keep Bretonia. He started on Bretonia. I kind of want to try out this Terror Bomb tactic against Bretonia. I've had it used against me, and I know I was pretty salty about it in past videos. But there is counterplay to it. So, you know, in hindsight, I don't think it's as sleazy as I had thought it was. This guy wants to keep switching around until he gets counters to things. That's pretty funny. Okay, I'll deal with this. I think I can beat the Greenskins in a normal fight. I think this is a skill matchup. So yeah, I mean, I could have maybe done Greenskins into Empire, but I haven't played that a lot in this patch. It was really bad last patch. Suspect it's probably pretty bad this patch. I don't know though, I haven't played the matchup either way that much on this patch. What do I usually play into Greenskins? I mean, lately I've been playing Vampire Counts into Greenskins. Bretonia is also really good into Greenskins. What else? What else? It's tough to say. It's tough to say. I think Empire is good into Greenskins still. I mean, what made Empire good against Greenskins last patch is the fact that you could get a really good Air Force as Empire. And Greenskins have a really hard time with flying units. You could get a really good Air Force, you had great sniping power. With the Light Wizards, you could just snipe out their Night Goblin Shaman, and that's a huge part of, you know, a huge part of the top tier Greenskin army. But you've lost a bit of that. The flying stuff is not as good as it was last patch, at least not for Greenskin, or for Empire. You can beat them. I don't know. Like I said, I just haven't tried it up. I feel like it's probably an even matchup, Empire versus Greenskins. I'm just not familiar with it personally. I haven't done a lot on this patch, and I'm really trying to get, you know, get to top 100 as fast as possible. So I am familiar with the Vampire Counts matchup in the Greenskins. And I do think it's a decent matchup for both parties, so we'll see how this guy feels about it. Now, this is my new iteration of it. Relatively new. I've played the last few games with it, but I rotated out the normal Black Knights. I took out zombies. And I think I took off his Arcane, which I hate to get rid of this. It's really good, but 141 gold's quite a lot. I mean, you might get to use this 2 times in a battle, and it'll give you like 10 more mana, which is good. I mean, that's 1 more than a heck. So, you know, maybe that's worth it. I don't know. It's very difficult to say. But what I get to buy with that is Blood Knights, an extra Blood Knight. So, you know, in the past, I had been critical of Blood Knights for what I thought was costing too much. So I was like, you know, they're too expensive. They're 1,700. They don't have a lot of armor-piercing damage. They're obviously really good, but are they really that much better than Black Knights? Because on paper, it doesn't look like they're that much better than Black Knights, right? So if we look relative to their cost, of course. I mean, they're obviously better objectively. It's just relative to their cost. So if we click on Black Knight, well, it's not going to let me click on Blood Knights, but okay, click on my Blood Knights, Black Knights. So Black Knights actually have more HP than Blood Knights, which is interesting. They have similar armor. Blood Knights have 30 more armor. Blood Knights have higher leadership. Black Knights are a little bit faster. And they only have 10% less melee attack, 10% less defense. And they have 2 more base weapon strength. And they have a lot less charge. Now the Blood Knights obviously get a huge bonus against large of 24, which is great. That's good at taking down any boar or whatever that he has. But they also have Frenzy, which makes them immune to Psychology, extra 8 melee attack. I think they attack faster if they have Frenzy. Not 100% how that works. And they get some extra missile resistance. But I'm just telling you that in practice, now you need to watch him, make sure he doesn't switch to Bretonia. Okay, we're good. Just in actual practice, though, I can't describe it. I don't know how all the stats align, but the Blood Knights are just, like, exponentially more powerful. They really are worth 2 Black Knights. They get way more kills, and they just survive way longer. Like, they just have a lot more utility, I think. Oh, great, I'm gonna have to march up this hill. I really wish they would just take this map off of multiplayer. Like, this is fine for single player, you know, campaign maps, because you can work your way around, but it's pretty unfair. It's pretty unbalanced for multiplayer. And the reason is, whoever starts at the bottom of the hill just has a massive disadvantage. His hill bonuses are really important. I'm not sure exactly what they are, but I know that if you get a hill bonus, it's a big deal. Because I've fought very similar battles multiple times. So, like, with some of my campaigns, Beastman, for example, that first battle, there's a hill on it, and I have fought that. I didn't really mean to do it on purpose, but it ended up working out this way, where I was fighting them uphill, and they just absolutely slaughtered me. And there's another time when I fought that very first battle with Beastman, in the Khazrak campaign, where you attack that town, on the first turn. And I fought the other battle just on flat ground, and I absolutely destroyed them. I don't have hard stats, but that happens in a lot of the campaigns where, you know, if you get the hill advantage, it is a big deal. I don't have exact stats for you, but I can tell you anecdotally that you absolutely do not want to be fighting uphill whenever possible. I mean, that makes common sense, right? Like, if you just think about fighting, if you're uphill, you know, gravity's working in your favor. It's a lot easier to swing. It's a lot easier to defend yourself. You're at a higher angle, so you can hit more vital things like somebody's head. You can knock people off balance. They can fall down the hill easier. I mean, in real life battles, being on the high ground, you know, is obviously a good thing. And that translates into this game, although, like I said, I'm not quite sure exactly how that translates into this game, but it does in some form or fashion. I'm going to start on the least downhill possible. I'm going to go over here into this gully. Just work my way through these trees, probably. This map is just way too huge for single player, too. Like, why do we need this way over here? Alright, or just, like, way over here. Like, why? Why do we need to be that far away? Like, with a 20-minute timer. There's been some fights recently where... Let's go ahead and put one of these on the 4. I'm gonna try this formation out. We'll make 2 sort of shock groups here. Oh, over here, this one. 2 sort of different flank groups. They're kind of diversified, and then these can be our... it's gonna be part of our group 1, that's fine. We don't really have a group 2, which is kind of awkward. I'm kind of used to the Crypt Hordes being group 2, but I need to split up and run around flanks more. Let's just call these group 2, just because that's going to trip me out. Well, you know what? I do want it this way because I need to cycle charges on the cavalry, and I don't have to cycle them with the Crypt Hordes. It's nice if you can, but the Crypt Hordes are okay sitting in there just fighting. But the Blood Knights really need to be cycling charges. Okay, everybody's over there. Okay, yeah, so he's trying to make me run up that hill into his woods. I am still gonna probably have to run up the hill at him. What does he have? Bowman, Biggins, got a Flying Lord. Surely he sees me, because I can see him, right? I don't know how I can see him in these woods, honestly. I feel like I shouldn't be able to do that. So he's got some normal orc boys, which are just going to get absolutely crushed by my Grave Guard. I don't see black orcs yet, but I assume he has to have them. I mean, that's like the one of the units where it's like you absolutely 100% have to have a lot of black orcs. I really, really wish this corpse cart was faster. Like, it's absurdly slow. 23. I mean, I know it's pulled by zombies, but come on. Oh, is he actually going to come to me? Oh my gosh, do we have a kind soul who's going to come to me in battle for once? I'd say 90% of the fight. Well, maybe not that high, but a large proportion of the time. It feels like I have to go to other people. Alright, we're going for him. These units are kind of isolated out here. Before he gets the rest of these over here in alignment, we're just going to go ahead and try to knock him out. Well, I kind of want my corpse cart over there also. And whatever, we'll wait on the corpse cart, that's fine. Now, what kind of boar are these big uns? I assume they're probably boar big uns. No, he's not going to come to me. He's just trolling. It's fine. What is this? Okay, little wolves. Whatever. They're probably going to try to pick off my corpse cart. Whatever, let's just get in there. It's fine. Now, there's not a lot I can do about those wolves. I'm just going to have to let them shoot at me, I think. Yeah, they're going to come over here. And if I were them, I'd probably try to snipe the corpse cart. Now, usually I would throw zombies or something at them, but guys, let's go. You guys have my permission to attack. So I am going to have to fight uphill and in the woods, so it's not good, but I just don't want to sit there and look at him, so sometimes just in the interest of advancing the game. And he's probably going to pick off this corpse cart with these goblins, almost certainly. What is this? Oh, necromancer? Yeah. Charge. There we go. He is raining shots down. I do have silver shields, though, and he's shooting his own people in the back, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Let's go ahead and send some more stuff over here. Whoa, how are they doing that much damage to me? He's going to come over here and try to knock these out. Guys, get over here. Get a couple more units over here to help out. Alright, let's file these out. Get them out. We'll charge them back in. It's fine. I'm gonna have to wait a little bit. I need to get the corpse cart stuff over here. Guys, get over here, kill his stuff. I need to really be over here and help. Start helping with this stuff. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. Get my guy out of there. Alright, let's rotate over here. Forget all that. Forget it. Let's get over here, kill all this stuff. Don't worry about the Lord. Let's go ahead and rotate out. Now, these things are very annoying, but there's not a lot I can do about them. Now, he is going to try to go for my Lord now. I need to be careful with that. Right, let's get down here and crush this stuff. I need to try to run away from him. Get just something to tie up this Lord. Cycle charges over here. Yeah, he's trying to go for my Lord. That's fine. No, 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 no. Stop. God bless. I really, really hate that when you try to click on somewhere and then it clicks on the unit instead and you don't get the regeneration that you wanted to get. Let's rotate these out. Has he reached his regen cap? He has not. Actually, let's go charge this guy on this mount and just knock him out real quick. If he wants to sit right in the middle here and tank and go for my lord, I'm gonna go for his lord. Get him. Yeah, he's hurting his own guys really badly by shooting into this, because a lot of my guys have shield and missile resistance and regeneration, all this, and his don't. As you can see, he's kind of hurting his own guys quite a lot by doing that. I think he should be dead pretty soon. I think that should have gotten him. Yeah, he's done. I didn't see the skull, but that's it. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, these things look like they're shooting a lot of arrows, right? I mean, I just said in the last episode that kills aren't everything, because these aren't going to get last hits. They're just going to whittle units down, and then, you know, something like their big uns are going to get the last hits. That's true. But, you know, like I said, it looks like they're dealing a lot of damage because you just constantly see this rain of arrows come at you. But there's no way I'm catching these in normal circumstances. And there's not dealing that much damage, frankly. I mean, the big uns are the big threat, right? Because they do a lot of damage to almost everything that I have. Not the Grave Guard and not the Wraiths. But everything else, they do quite a bit of damage. I had to dance around with the Ghoul King a little bit. He was trying to focus them out some. So what you want to do is just kite your units through like a melee pack and then get the melee to come and attack the other unit to peel them off. He did focus out my Sternsmen. I'm not sure where those were. They did get a lot of kills before they went down, though. He was putting a lot of resources and effort into killing the Blood Knights. Or trying to kill the Blood Knights. So I just ran him straight up into the Orc Warboy Biggins. I think we should win that matchup pretty decisively. We get a huge bonus versus large. Let me see how that matchup works. It was surprising, though, because it looked like he was just completely wrecking one of my Blood Knights. Of course, I completely destroyed one of his, but let me look and see. I was surprised by how quickly my units went down to those. Those were Savage Warboy Biggins, I think. Maybe they're just normal. Let me see. I'll know when I see the picture there. Okay, they weren't the Savages. They're just normal Warboy Biggins. They get a 48 charge bonus, which is nice. Now, they do heavy armor-piercing damage, so that's definitely a thing. They get 12 versus large. They get, 32. Or 42 melee attack, rather. Or no, what am I saying? 42 melee strength and 32 melee attack. There we go. But that charge bonus means they're going to hit me quite a lot on the charge. And they do more armor-piercing than I do, because they do, like... I'm not sure if the charge bonus is all armor piercing or if that's like some kind of ratio. I can't imagine that it's all armor piercing, because there's some, some cavalry, like the Blood Knights especially, don't have heavy armor piercing damage, but they have a super high charge bonus, so that would effectively just give them full armor piercing damage if it gave them all armor piercing bonus to large. So that would really kind of skew balancing quite a lot. So I suspect that the charge bonus is some kind of ratio. It might even just be straight weapon damage and not armor-piercing damage. I'm not sure. But that was why they were doing a lot of damage, was because they had heavy armor-piercing. My guys don't have that. That's one of their weaknesses. They don't have heavy armor-piercing. Yeah, they only have 11. So those boars actually have twice as much armor-piercing damage. Now my guys have twice as much armor, and I have way more melee attack because I get this huge bonus versus large, just 24 bonus versus large, and I have a larger charge bonus, and I have frenzy. So my units are obviously objectively powerful, but it's just like on that charge, when they have that charge bonus and they do the impact damage to me, it's going to do a lot. They're also uphill fighting downhill. I know I said that you never want to do that, but because of balancing on that map and the fact that I don't want to draw, I'm going to opt into that and just hope that my tactics can overcome that disadvantage. I really thought he was going to come to me for once, but people never do that. Unless you have artillery and you're forcing them to come to you, then they're not going to come to you. You're going to have to go to them. And on a map like that, it's a pretty big disadvantage. Ugh. Okay. Alright, well, how much did I get for that one? Probably not a ton. You're 27. Okay, so I definitely went up some ranks on that. I got like, I think 200 something for that. That's not awful. It's okay. I wish I was getting 300 a game, but now it seems like it's going to be 200 a game. I mean, it drops off quite a lot, too, because as you move up in rank, obviously there's more people that are lower than you than higher than you, and so you're constantly going to be gaining less points for wins and losing more points for losses. So it gets really hard if you're playing an honest game, if you're not exploiting at all. You know, it starts getting really, really hard to move up a lot of ranks. That's why some of these people that are like super top players that don't troll and don't cheese have about 1,000 games. I mean, even people who cheese and just exploit the system like Hella97, it still has taken him 626 games to get up there, even though he abuses gyrocopters. Now, I don't know if he does that every single game, or if he only does that against Greenskins. I don't know. But, you know, even using some exploitative tactics like he does, it still takes him this long. Oh, I actually played against Noob. I didn't know he was a top 16. I'll have to mark that. Because I've tried to mark in the description of all of my games. I try to mark in the description if I play against a top 100 player. I did play against this guy, and I'm pretty sure I beat him earlier. I'll definitely mark that. Double check and mark it. I remember the name, so I thought it was cool. I think I played against him. Maybe I just saw him in the chat. Maybe that's how I recognize it. I just saw someone named Noob, because I thought that was a pretty cool name, or at least an interesting name. I feel like I may have played against him, though. Anyways, okay, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Do check out the rest of the videos. We have a ton of multiplayer going on. We also have some legendary campaigns going that are a ton of fun. There's no auto-resolve abuse, no assassinating lords on the campaign map, no multi-sacking towns, no casting spells and running away and hiding. Like, there's no exploitative tactics in the campaign. So it's a lot of fun, and I think it's different from a lot of campaigns because it forces me to make a lot of really difficult campaign map decisions and battle decisions. So I think it's a ton of fun. It's basically a whole different game if you don't auto-resolve. Now, obviously, I do auto-resolve if, you know, I attack a town and there's, you know, 8 surviving people or something like that. I'm going to auto-resolve. Or, like, just the town garrison, basically, without a lord or something like that. I'm always going to auto-resolve. But if it's like a 20-on-20, even if it's giving me, you know, 70% odds, 80% odds, I'm still going to fight it. And I do lose some of those fights because they're really, really hard with legendary stats. The legendary stats are massive, massive. I know that CA has posted up things saying that it's only 12% or something bonus to melee attack. It is way higher than that. I'll tell you anecdotally, just playing against it, it's way higher than that. You know, probably the most stark example of this is, I think it's my Dwarf number 5 video, where I have a one-on-one with an enemy lord, I have a hill bonus, and he absolutely annihilates me. He has like 90% of his health left, and he kills me. So there's no way that he only has a 12% bonus of stats. This was a weird situation. I ended up getting caught. But it's like literally a level 1 lord on a level 1 lord, legendary campaign. I have the hill bonus. He has nothing else. I'm dwarf. He's greenskin. You know, he's more offensive. I'm more defensive, but we have balanced stats. And yeah, we had no items, no skills. No levels, no armies, nothing. Just straight up one-on-one, and he absolutely slaughters me. Like, there's no way you can say, oh, well, that's just variance. You just missed a few hits here and there, and he got a few lucky hits here and there. No, it was an absolute slaughter. So I know that CA has released something by some guy that said, like, it's 12%, but the guy even admits in his comment, like, I'm feeling lazy. I don't want to look up the exact stats. So I don't really trust, his judgment. And some other YouTubers have also, made an attempt to try to understand legendary stats, and most people, come to the conclusion that it's they're very high, so it's very challenging. And it's hidden. The fact that he said it's 12%, I don't exactly believe that number, but the fact that he said it's that and it's not on the unit card definitely confirms that there are hidden stats that you don't see on legendary. So just because you click on the unit card and you're like, oh, well, they only have 10% leadership because that's what it's showing me, plus 10 leadership, it's like, no, they have way, way more than that. I'll guarantee you, because I've played a ton of campaign battles. I know what those feel like, and I've played a lot of multiplayer battles now, and I know what those feel like. And the difference is huge in terms of, like, what you can expect different units to do. I mean, I just recently in a Greenskins campaign lost a battle, barely, but I had things like Doom Divers, Boars, Chariot, Black Orcs. I had a lot of good units, and he had skeletons. Like, it was Manfred with an entire battalion of skeletons, and I think he may have had like 1 or 2 bats or something. I'm pretty sure he had no Graveguard, no Crypt Horrors, just nothing. It was almost all skeletons. It was like a 17 skeleton army, and he beat me. And I was like charge cycling, doing all the, micro that you see in my multiplayer games, and they barely beat me. And there's no way in my mind that I can believe that he only had a 12% bonus to stats and was able to beat me in that fight. And the leadership, I just don't see it happening. But anyways, do check out the campaigns. They're a ton of fun. So that's going to be it. It's always a pleasure broadcasting for you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Have a wonderful evening.